Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. Alright, folks, buckle up because we're about to dive into some of the most crucial and honestly surprising developments heading into the 2025 NFL season, especially for the Washington Commanders. If you've been following the team closely, you know the buzz around the NFC East is electric right now, and the Commanders are definitely at the center of that storm. There's a lot to unpack, from their promising prospects to some serious off-field issues that could influence their chances of making a deep playoff push or even contending for that elusive Super Bowl title. So, let's start by looking at what made the Commanders such an exciting team last year and what's shaping up for this upcoming season. It's impossible to talk about the Commanders without acknowledging the incredible rise of their young star quarterback, Jayden Daniels. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Wait, Jayden Daniels. Isn't he a rookie? Well, yes, that's exactly what makes this story so compelling. Last year, Daniels burst onto the scene in a way that caught everyone off guard. He wasn't just managing games, he was dominating them. His arm, his mobility, and his ability to make plays under pressure brought a new energy to Washington's offense. For a team that's been searching for stability at the quarterback position for years, Daniels' emergence has been nothing short of a game-changer. And it wasn't just about one player. The entire team seemed to rally around him, and that's what made their playoff run so thrilling. The Commanders made a surprising push all the way to the NFC Championship game, a feat that many didn't see coming after the struggles of previous seasons. They played with a swagger, a confidence that suggested they weren't just content with being spoilers. They were here to compete at the highest level. Their defense, led by emerging stars and veterans alike, played with intensity and discipline, while their offensive scheme became more dynamic with Daniels at the helm. But as we all know in the NFL, the offseason can sometimes bring more drama than the games themselves, and this year is no different. Now, here's where things get a little complicated. Recently, news broke that the Commanders' star wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, is holding out of the team's mandatory minicamp. This isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a sign of serious underlying issues. McLaurin, a two-time Pro Bowler, has been the heart and soul of Washington's receiving corps for several seasons now. Over his 6-year tenure, he's accumulated over 300 yards and 38 touchdowns, making him one of the most consistent and reliable targets in the league. Last year alone, with Daniels throwing to him, McLaurin caught 82 passes for 96 yards and 13 touchdowns, which was arguably one of his best seasons yet. So, why is McLaurin holding out? Well, it all comes down to contract negotiations. He's in the final year of his current deal, which is set to pay him around $19.65 million in 2025. But McLaurin clearly feels he deserves more, especially considering his production and importance to the team. The fact that he's chosen to skip the minicamp, which is mandatory in the NFL, speaks volumes about how serious he is about his negotiations. He's risking fines that could total over $100, all to make a statement that he's not just going to accept the status quo when it comes to his value. This kind of standstill isn't uncommon in the NFL, but it does raise some questions for the Commanders. Will they be able to come to an agreement soon, or are we looking at a potential trade scenario? Because if the two sides can't reach a deal, it's entirely possible that McLaurin could be moved to another team. Rumors have already started swirling around the league, with teams like the Los Angeles Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers mentioned as potential landing spots. Both teams could use a receiver of McLaurin's caliber, and with their current cap space and need for a reliable target, it wouldn't be shocking to see Washington explore options. Now, let's take a little step back and analyze what McLaurin's presence means for the Commanders. Since arriving in Washington, he's been a model of consistency and professionalism. His route running, hands, and ability to make contested catches have made him a favorite among fans and coaches alike. And with Daniels' emergence as a dynamic quarterback, having McLaurin on the field is basically essential for the team's success. His ability to stretch the field opens up so many options for the offense, and his chemistry with Daniels has been developing beautifully. But here's the thing, if McLaurin leaves, the Commanders will have to find a way to replace that production. They've got other talented receivers, sure, like Jahan Dotson and Curtis Samuel, who are capable of stepping up, but losing a player of McLaurin's caliber would be a significant blow. It's not just about the yards and touchdowns, it's about leadership, consistency, and the ability to make clutch plays when it matters most. It's also about the chemistry he's built with Daniels, which is still in its early stages but promising. Looking ahead, the big question is how this situation will unfold. Will the team meet McLaurin's demands, or will they stand firm and risk losing him? The front office has a tough decision to make because the NFL's salary cap and roster-building strategies are complex. They have to balance the immediate on-field performance with long-term financial health. And with the NFL salary cap continuing to rise, there's always room for negotiations, but it depends on how flexible both sides are willing to be. Meanwhile, the team's overall outlook remains optimistic. Many experts are still bullish on Washington's chances in 2025, especially considering their young core and the coaching staff's strategic approach. Head coach Ron Rivera, known for his disciplined, gritty style, has been working tirelessly to build a culture of accountability and resilience. The addition of a talented offensive line and a defense that has been steadily improving gives fans hope that the Commanders can contend seriously in the NFC East, which continues to be one of the most competitive divisions in football. Of course, the NFC East has always been a battleground. The Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, and New York Giants are all formidable opponents, each with their own strengths and star players. The Eagles, for instance, coming off a Super Bowl appearance, have kept much of their core intact and are hungry to defend their title. The Cowboys, with their high-powered offense and stout defense, are always in the mix. And the Giants, with a revamped roster under new leadership, are looking to climb back into playoff contention. For Washington, staying healthy and resolving the McLaurin situation will be critical to their success. And let's not forget about the schedule. The NFL's scheduling in 2025 promises some intriguing matchups, especially within the division. The Commanders will face tough divisional battles early, and every game in the NFC East feels like a playoff game already. Every win counts, and with the stakes higher than ever, Washington's players know that every snap could be the difference between a deep postseason run and missing out entirely. Now, going back to the on-field prospects, it's worth highlighting some of the other key players who could make a difference this season. Defensive stars like Chase Young and Montez Sweat are coming into their prime, and the depth along the defensive line looks promising. The secondary, led by emerging talents and veterans, has the potential to be one of the league's best if everything clicks. Offensively, beyond Daniels and McLaurin, guys like Jahan Dotson, a talented young receiver, and running backs like Brian Robinson Jr. could add a lot of punch to the attack. The coaching staff's emphasis on a balanced attack and aggressive defense is designed to maximize the team's strengths. But of course, all of this hinges on one key factor: health. Injuries have derailed many promising seasons in the NFL, and Washington is no exception. Staying healthy, especially along the offensive line and in the secondary, will be essential. Moreover, the ongoing contract saga with McLaurin is a reminder that team chemistry and locker room harmony are also critical. The front office and coaching staff will need to navigate this delicate situation carefully, because losing a player of McLaurin's caliber without a proper plan could set the team back. So, as we look ahead to the upcoming season, the picture is filled with both hope and uncertainty. The Commanders have a window of opportunity, especially if their young stars continue to develop and if the front office manages to keep the core together. Their fans are hungry for success, and after a surprisingly exciting run last year, expectations are higher than ever. The NFC East isn't just a division, it's a battlefield where every game feels like playoff football. Washington's path to another Super Bowl appearance is filled with obstacles, but also with potential. And what about the fans? Well, you guys are the backbone of this team. Your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, those are what make the Washington Commanders special. This offseason, the McLaurin situation has been a huge talking point, and it's a perfect example of how much the team means to the community. Fans are hoping for a resolution that keeps their star wide receiver in the burgundy and gold, but they also understand that business is part of football. Regardless of what happens, you never lose faith in your team, and that's what makes being a Commanders fan so unique. So, as we approach training camp, all eyes will be on the negotiations, the development of the young players, and how the team adjusts to any roster changes. The NFC East will be watching closely, and every fan is eagerly awaiting the kickoff of the new season. Will Washington capitalize on their momentum? Can they overcome the off-field hurdles and come out stronger? Those are the questions that will define their journey in 2025. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This team is on the rise, and the story isn't over yet. Thanks for being here, and let's keep the passion alive.